no. I got bad news. I was recording the level, and then I realized I was muted. So, we've got Scotty's contribution to Fractured Worlds. If the barrels explode, pain elementals show up. Way too many pain elementals, you won't be able to handle it. So, I think a lot of this map is deciding on what order you do the fights. I could go for the secret fight now. Oh, which is also done very well. Like, oh, I want that chain gunner's weapon. Let me make this big boy jump. Whoa, you did the jump? Now you get access to the secret area? I think that's a cool way to do it. Anyway, I don't want to do the secret fight yet, because I don't have enough plasma. And in my opinion, it's very difficult to do that fight once you have maybe 100 cells or so. So I died a lot attempting to do that fight early. But it only took me like 2 or 3 tries doing it late. Now there is one caveat to that. If you do it too late, if you do it after you get the BFG, I don't think I was ever able to beat that fight with the BFG. A lot of the secret encounters change if you have the BFG in Fractured Worlds. This is one of them. It changes a lot. They add a ton of archviles, and when you're talking about a long hallway where archviles are on the opposite end and all the enemies are carpeting the floor, it's really tough when ammo is limited. But I like to do this fight early, because this fight gives you a good amount of ammo, and it's pretty hard and random. There's a cyber demon, there are these 2 invisible arachnitrons, because it's really dark. So, I like doing it first. This map, it's not that hard, but like I say every single time, it's hard for me to will myself to use the plasma gun, because I always know, oh, if I save this with the BFG, then technically it would be more efficient. But you gotta get over that, you know? So these archviles, sometimes they don't always come out together, and sometimes they do. Obviously, it's easier if it's one at a time. But if they're too far apart, then sometimes you lose track of that central area, but, you know, if you're good, that doesn't happen. My movement near these Hell Knights is very specific, so as to minimize the chance they blow up those barrels. They blow up the barrels, it's game over. I really like this strategy, because the revenants that are close to me, they have line of sight, but they can't attack because the one in the front, he's getting pain stated, the ones behind them, they're too close, and revenants don't like attacking when they're too close. And the other ones don't have line of sight, too many revenants are in the way. So it was actually easier to do that, and more consistent, than, you know, like dancing back and forth. So now what we're gonna do is have the cyber demon not in fight, or not defend himself, but we want him to attack the other enemies. Most important thing here is make sure you've killed all the specters and lost souls and all that. It's dark, don't let him get you. At the time I was playing this on Wolf, I mean, this was one of the first difficult WODs I'd played, really. I'd done a bunch of skill saw stuff, some of the Unity WODs, you know, stuff like that. I played Sunlust, and then I played this. So at the time, it was only when I was playing on Wolf, not DSDA. And I don't think Wolf even supported OpenGL. And Spectres on software, unless you're playing on really low res, they're just very difficult to see. Then again, Wolf isn't very high res, so... So I kind of like how he has the barrel thing set up as make sure to shoot at him when you're inside the elevator, or the Archviles hear you. I like how they have the fights set up, get the Revenants in front, then come around the other side to focus on the Vials. Because you don't really have to deal with the barrel thing that much. It's more of an intermission thing. Okay, between fights I have to worry about that. But then on the secret fight, you do have to worry about it a lot. Like, it decides my whole strategy. Sure, there are barrels here, but I only hit them like once. It's just not that much of an issue unless you're throwing around plasma, which you don't need in this arena. That's why I think this arena was built around the super shotgun, because using plasma would be a little bit risky. Unless you really focus on one enemy. Usually the Revenants, just the way they're laid out, the Revenants are somewhat farther from barrels than, say, Cacos or Imps. So now that we've done both the left fight and the right fight, we've got a good amount of cells, we've got a good amount of shells. I think we're in a good position to do the secret fight now. Moreover, when you enter the secret fight, you get a Megasphere. And I could use that right now. So we're in a good position to go do it. Let's see if I do. Okay, first we deal with this. The reason I did that is because you get a lot of shells in the secret fight. I was like, alright, why not use as much as I can here. Now, you'll see the secret fight and you'll be like, okay, I understand why you wanted some plasma for this. Frankly, it was kind of dumb of me to keep doing attempts trying to do the secret fight first, because, oh, get the difficult part out of the way. Not reasonable. You need cells for this. But you don't want the BFG. Because if you have the BFG, the fight changes. Like, a few levels do that, actually. Map 2 does it. And... does map 6 change? I think map 6 changes the purple fight if you bring the BFG. But I could be off. I don't remember for sure. If I remember right, I think I used plasma for it. I don't remember. We'll see when I get there. So, yeah, this encounter, it takes a lot of good behavior, because the only way you can move forwards is if the Cyber Demon helps. You don't want to shoot and then all the enemies hear you, right? That would be bad. But the thing is, once you get to the end with those Archviles, The Cyber Demon just... It's not really enough. He needs help, and that's why I brought 161 cells. We'll see if I actually use that much. Ah, that's a good amount. The thing is, if I don't end up using that amount, it's like, alright, great, who cares that I did this later than I would have otherwise? But if I do use that amount, well, then it justifies me waiting, doesn't it? If it goes so poorly that I died, I probably wouldn't have won if I didn't have that amount of cells, right? So it's actually going near the switch that kills the Cyber Demon, not pressing the switch. Pressing the switch opens up the exit and puts the chain gunners there. Also, one of those two things, I don't know which, I think it's pressing the switch, spawns a lot of archviles if you have the BFG. I was never able to do it in that configuration, so I just did it before the BFG. Now what we're going to do is a little bit of a slow strafe, so that the Cyber Demon infights, and then I'm going to run parallel to the Archvile's little vantage point, so that the one in the back has a hard time seeing me because 3D, and I'm still moving laterally from the Cyber Demon's perspective. So we'll see that in a moment. Nice lost soul. Oh. I'm playing Evil Within 2, and I just got spotted. But don't worry, the AI is really stupid. The AI is laughably dumb. Main thing to worry about here is just don't get smacked by the cyber rockets. Keep track of who he's attacking. The AI in any game is always going to be pretty dumb, right? It's going to be very few exceptions where they know what they're doing. And that's fine. Like, we're playing a game, they don't need to be the most intelligent things in the world that we're playing against. And that's why they put a lot of enemies for us to kill. But the ones in Evil Within 2 are so stupid. And I think I know why. Because if they were more aware of you, then the open world wouldn't work. Enemies would be attacking you from a mile away. You'd never be able to run because there aren't really that many real places to hide. So instead, enemies just need to be stupid so that they lose track of you. Anyway, I don't know what I was doing over there. Maybe I got some extra gear. Who cares? So, what do we got next? Now, this is the final battle if you're not doing the secret encounter. I practiced that maneuver so much. Because you gotta get rid of those guys quick, and you need to do it in a way that the other Cyber Demon gets stuck. And we'll see him in a bit. And, you know, you could rewind the video a little bit and you'll see the environment isn't fully flat, right? You might be able to see it a little bit from here. So the Cybers aren't that smart, and they'll sort of get stuck on the ground. You know, the pathfinding is very basic here. So now all we need to worry about is making sure we can actually, you know, finish this arch file in 10 shots, which is pretty easy. And not messing up the platforming, because it's all death bits. And that was pretty lucky. I didn't have to do the back and forth these, which, truth be told, I wasn't good at it at this time. Yeah, it's true. I would trust myself like 90% on 2 taps nowadays, but at this point, it was pretty lucky that I got the rev to hit him first. Now, when you see what I do next, bear in mind that Soul Sphere still exists. And you gotta hit both of those little vials. Nice. Forgot to pick up the key. The cyan key, but it shows up as green in my inventory. And I never let Nirvana live that down, don't I? Like, you know, Nirvana made some pretty levels, but when he made the HUD for his, I mistimed that. But then I'm just like, okay, I'll tank the hit, because I have a Soul Sphere. And I'm only getting 100 cells before the next fight. Nirvana makes some good maps, but have you ever thought about how, the HUD he made for the keys isn't right? What I mean is that the cyan key is cyan if you just have the cyan key. But if you also have the red key, then it shows up as green. And that's because the big jump, it's not that big of a jump. You could handle that. It's because all of the key little pixel art things are different. Oh, that little purple key, not getting me, Scotty. So the way that's set up, that little key door only opens if you've passed to where the normal exit is. Now here, there are barrels in the back. I don't know if I said it, but if any of the barrels explode before they're supposed to, game over. So that's why we're being very close to these Hell Knights. We're trying to simplify, do a little bit of the spinsies back and forth. And this is where I realized that I was muted last time. So we simplify so we can bottleneck them. And nobody is getting close to the barrels. So of course we've got, should be 2 more enemies here. Oh. Okay, I don't know what the other enemies are going to be. I know there are 2 cyber demons. I don't remember anybody else. Let's see what happens. Oh my god. Oh, it's just 1 cyber at a time. Okay. That's not too bad. I mean, you can't let him hit the barrels. You know. Oh, the reason there are more enemies is because the pain elementals that spawn if you destroy the barrels. Okay. This was so tricky for me, because I was not good with the 2 tapping yet. There we go. That'll be all the kills, and we are out. Cool. Cool map from Scotty. I think that's my favorite Scotty map. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would say that for sure. Okay, bye.